Hey guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share it, rate it, make a comment, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. We release a new video every day at 4 o'clock. So thank you for watching. Enjoy. Chris Anderson joins us. He's a professor at Cornell University. That's the School of Hotel Administration. Chris, did I get all of that correct?
You did. Great. Thanks, Eric.
It's my pleasure. Listen, I'm just trying to read the teleprompter. You know, sometimes it's a challenge. You know, we're certainly living in, I wouldn't say unprecedented times, but certainly some strange days for the lodging industry, wouldn't you say?
Strange is sort of an understatement.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to do too much inside baseball here, but we're talking about the lodging industry, and we just kind of throw that term out like it's just like a line item on some spreadsheet. But you're talking about millions of hotel rooms.
Yeah, and it's not just the hotel rooms, right? So you also have the alternative accommodation space, so Airbnb, that kind of space. But then you have all the sort of food and beverage that supports those hotel rooms, right? So it's not just the rooms themselves, it's that whole periphery that sort of lives and dies by those visitors, right? Las Vegas is a classic example of a city that is just all about inbound, leisure and business traffic that's just all gone, right?
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think it's going to take for us to feel safe and comfortable to stay in a hotel room again?
So from the data that I'm looking at, people are starting to sort of research and look at hotel stays about 90 days out, right? So here in the US, sort of late summer stays, right? And so I think people already have a sense of when it's going to be safe to go on a vacation or travel, right? And so at some level, hotels have always done a great job of keeping rooms clean and guests safe, right? They're going to go the extra step. We've heard lots about electrostatic sprayers and UV, and Marriott came out with some PR around what they're going to do. So the hotels are going to be very upfront about the incremental efforts they're going to take.
There may be what could, for good reason, be perceived as extra steps or inconveniences. Is the public going to tolerate that? Are they going to be okay with these extra measures, i.e. more things they're going to have to do just to stay at a lodging establishment?
So I think on the hotel side, what we're going to see is removal of a lot of the, guest to guest potential interactions, right? So with that, we're going to have a lot more, mobile check-in, check-out, keyless entry into rooms, all that technology that is there, but really has been slow to be adopted because we like that human touch.
Chris, hold on. Are you basically saying that all of us are now going to have to actually learn how to use our smartphones that we don't really know how to use now past 5 or 6 different functions? Is that what I'm hearing here?
I think we're going to sort of expedite the adoption of a lot of that technology that's already there, that for, some people love it because they don't necessarily need all that interaction, but others, they don't travel a lot. Maybe they want that, comfort of that interaction. I think a lot of that is just going to go away, and this is going to expedite the adoption of some of that technology. So no mini bars, no buffets. So all those old touch points where there was potential person-to-person communication, that's, not physically, not talking, but communication of bacteria or viruses, that is going to get stripped out.
Are hotels and resorts ever going to be clean enough for the American public?
So, I definitely think so. Lodging has always done a great job of, because it is so competitive, right? So first and foremost, hotels, it's not like they're all owned by Marriott or owned by Hilton. They're all owned by individual franchisees.
First of all, there is a price to all of this. There is a cost to all of this. The hotel industry, the lodging industry has been around a very long time. And frankly, they've gotten really good at revenue management, some better than others. But is it going to cost more to stay at a hotel in the next 90 days?
So the one thing you can be sure of, it's going to be really inexpensive to stay, right, in the short term, right? Yep. So, hotels always, the aggregate occupancy in the United States in a sort of peak period is like 65%, right? So there's always surplus hotel rooms, right? Some really peak demand days, capacity is tight, but for the most part, there's surplus hotel rooms. Now that's just like, that's on speed, right? We've got so many extra hotel rooms, and hotels are going to be competing for those revenues to basically pay their mortgages, right?
Right.
And so I definitely think we're going to see a drop in prices. And so I don't think in the short term, any of that extra cost we're going to see in the cost of a hotel stay, right?
So because we're essentially talking about a commodity here, or at least in the hearts and minds of a consumer, is the place clean? Is it in the place I'm going? Whether I recognize the brand or not, does it have a minimum service standard that I'm looking for? But price a lot of times drives these decisions in terms of, I'm just looking for someplace cheap, I'm just looking for someplace inexpensive, however they want to define it in their own minds. And of course, the brands have a lot to say about that too. They push out that kind of messaging. Look at the Marriott portfolio brands, or Hilton or IHG to begin with. They've got options for you. But at the end of the day, what can people be looking at now to say, yeah, I have loyalty with this brand, or I have loyalty with that brand, or I see a price point at this brand? What could they be looking for and looking out for in terms of a checklist for health and safety in their upcoming travels? Does that question make sense? I'm trying to get in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest question ever, and I think we're well on our way with that one. Wow, but do you understand my point a little bit here, what I'm dealing with here? Because I think if what you're saying is correct, or at least in the ballpark of a 90-day, I'm thinking about it in this kind of time frame, what should I be looking for from these brands to help ease my mind here?
So, I think the things we're going to be looking for is some removal of previous consumer-to-consumer touch points, right? So you're no longer going to have a stocked mini bar, right? It's just too easy to have, person-to-person contact there, right? So I think there's going to be a few key services that, we've historically sort of come to expect, high touch parts of that are going to be in the short term removed, because we're just trying to remove a lot of those contact points.
I wonder if we're going to see an uptick in RV sales and rentals. I wonder.
Yeah. So for me, the one that's kind of up in the air is like the alternative accommodation space, right? So the short-term rental, the Airbnbs of the world, because at some level, a lot of that accommodation is outside of dense areas. So I'm removing some sort of the density of person-to-person contact, but then I'm adding in this dimension of unknown: who stayed there last, how was it turned over.
I'm telling you this. Yeah. First of all, this is the problem with having smart people on the program. This is the problem, is that now you've introduced an entire new subject. Would you come back and talk about that? Because I can tell you right now, I'd love to do 10 minutes on, well, is it going to be a hotel that you know, or an Airbnb, the brand Airbnb that you may know, but the accommodations found within you don't. Can we talk about that on your future visit?
Sure, definitely. Because Airbnb is kind of in this pickle right now, right? Because they really sort of annoyed a lot of their hosts with their cancellation policy.
And that's an understatement, to say the least.
Right. They kept consumers happy, but then for now them to come in from the top and sort of talk about what kind of sanitation sort of consistency you have, and sort of be this sort of over the top sort of control, I can't see that happening, right? So yeah, we can definitely talk. We can talk about that for the whole afternoon.
And yeah, we can bore people to death, the two of us talking about it for at least an hour. So Chris, thank you for doing this, and I really appreciate the information, man.
Okay, take care.
Hey guys, this channel is a celebration of all things travel, so hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment or question, share this video, like it, rate it, whatever. Believe me, it all helps. Thanks for watching.